This is the My Amazon Guy podcast. This is your host, Stephen Pope. Will be starting here in about 7 minutes at noon Eastern Standard Time. You can start asking your questions in the comments section and chat. Hi, and welcome to the My Amazon Guy podcast. I've got a special guest with me today. It's Jason Mastromateo. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Jason is a newly promoted account director at My Amazon Guy, and he's got some podcast chops, as they say. And so he will be guesting with us today. In particular, I have a baby that's due here in a couple weeks, and so he will likely fill in for me. And so today we're doing a little bit of a trial run. So Jason, I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me, Steven.
So we'll queue up some questions here to have Jason go over. Before we do that, I'll just give you guys just kind of a small little update. First of all, Tandis, thank you for becoming a new member today. For those that want to support our podcast today, just go to youtube.com/myamazonguy and hit the join button. We are getting so many questions in our live Q&A sessions on Fridays that we are going to start prioritizing member questions first. So if you want to get your question heard today, that's the best way to do that. Go and join and become a member. We appreciate that support. All right. So first things first, before we take questions, Sierra, I'm going to do my website thing here real quick. Hold on. I got to hit the share screen button, share screen. Here we go. So what's really cool about this, we'll go there. There we go. So this is a product that I launched about a year ago. This is the way beer glass, and really gave up on trying to make beer glasses prep work at the FBA facilities. And now that I've got my own warehouse going, I'm revisiting some of my old projects. So this is one of my favorite designs I've ever put out. Unfortunately, Mandalorian won't even be releasing its third season this year. They're gonna go down a side storyline on the Boba Fett that'll release in December. So one of the things about trying to ride the cultural wave, if you will, sometimes you don't have a lot of control over it. But this is a great product, great design that I put out, and I'm trying to figure out how to revitalize this. And now it just hit FBA this week, so super excited about that. If you have a Star Wars fan in your life, consider supporting us by purchasing one of these. I will put a link in the comment section here. If you like what you hear from Jason today, we just added him to our coaching page. You can see that there. He is our leading Vendor Central expert. So I know Cupcake Sprinkles, if you're in the audience today, you'll want to book a call with Jason. And you can see our coaching options here. You can find those at My Amazon Guy. Just hit the book a coaching call option. All right. So with that said, we're going to dive in here with our first question. And then Jason and I are going to be tag teaming on our questions today. Again, Jason's a newly promoted account director at My Amazon Guy. So we'll start off with Item. Hi, Steven. What's the best way to raise price without affecting the ranking? Jason, what are your thoughts?
You're going to have to do it. If you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it slowly and incrementally. If you do any kind of drastic price increase, you're going to lose the buy box. It's something that you have to, eventually there's a plateau where you can only raise your price as high as before you're losing conversion and impressions.
So I agree with Jason's answer here. And the only thing I'd add to it is the level that you should raise it at, probably no more than 10% in a 7-day time window, unless you have high amounts of conversion. So great answer there. All right, Sierra, let's go to the next question. So Daniel says, thanks for the great presentation on the PCC Summits. And oh my gosh, 1,000 spent targeting bath bombs for a single sale. Great lesson. What could I have done to avoid this? Let's see if we go there. Better choose who will you target. So for those that missed it, you can still sign up for that PPC Summits. It was hosted by Kevin Sanderson at Maximizing E-commerce, and really great group of people, 40 different presenters on all things PPC. In that presentation, I went very deep in detail on my Age of Sage launch. So we'll pull that up on screen here so everybody can see that. And this particular product launch did very, very well for us. However, not everything I did worked. In fact, I spent $1,000 targeting the best bath bomb products on the market. And I think it was this one right here. So it's got 33,000 reviews. It's ranked number 2 in bath bomb, number 5 in beauty gift sets, and 800 in the top beauty. My Age of Sage product got all the way up to the top 1,000 in beauty. So it did pretty well. But I spent $1,000 trying to show up on this guy's listing, as like one of these product related items, and like almost a straight goose egg, like 0 sales. And so I should have cut off my losses a little bit sooner than that $1,000. It was a wasted spend. I should have cut it at like 200. But sometimes you put on like a little filter, run it for the weekend, and come back and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? So one thing I'd say is keep your budgets in check, figure out your own risk tolerance, and figure out like what would make sense for you. That would be my best answer on that, Daniel. The other thing too is make sure you've got FBA ready to go, not just fulfilled by merchant, because I tried to launch my product going into Mother's Day, and I was freaking out because I couldn't check it in FBA fast enough. And so that was part of the problem. The other issue is I had one single product review on my listing, and that dude had 26,000. So I don't recommend targeting people with more than 1,000 reviews when you're launching your product. That's the biggest $1,000 I had to pay to learn my own experience, apparently, Daniel. All right, let's go to the next question. Cupcake sprinkles. All right, so this is one of our most popular fans that's a Vendor Central. That's why I think, Jason, you should connect with her. So you mentioned a Parentage Theory shift around supplements and mentioned a new hostility. Can you explain this shift? So I'll take this one first, and Jason, you can weigh in if you have anything further. So I would say, I think that we've seen Amazon break more parentages than we've ever seen before. And they're even breaking things that are like logically compliant, right? They're breaking things with size variations, color variations, and all that. And so I'm very pro parentage, especially when it's going to lift all of the ships together, right? So like with parentage, you show up in search results as a single listing when they're all connected. And so when they're all connected, you can increase your average order value, your other keyword rankings of the other listings when they are connected. However, if you have 2 listings inside of that parentage that are both equally good, that's when I recommend breaking them off, because then you can show up in search results multiple times. But in the case of Amazon shifting policies, they're breaking parentages more and more. And so you have to make a risk tolerance decision on whether you rebuild a parentage that Amazon breaks. Amazon is basically signaling, hey, we're tired of review manipulation. We're not going to share reviews in many of these categories. And we've seen a lot of policy updates relating to that. In fact, the international crackdown on fake reviews, they banned a bunch of accounts a couple weeks ago, and they're no longer sharing global star ratings in most categories. So those are all the changes that lead me to that opinion, Cupcake Sprinkles. But Jason, do you have anything to add?
No, you nailed it. Like you said, it's nice to have a newer product and an older parentage as well. Get that with the rest of the group, and get those ratings and all that attached to it.
All right, Sierra, let's go to the next question. I've been told to keep bullet points short. Is this true for supplements? Also, are backend keywords ranked in order? Should we list by importance? Jason, what are your thoughts?
There's no importance in the backend keywords anymore. I think you've touched on that before. As far as the order, I think there used to be before the A9 algorithm. And then as far as the bullet points, you want to get as many keywords into your bullet points as possible. I know there's some listings that are more of a known brand or something like that, where they can afford to have shortened titles and shortened keywords and such, because I know Steven does it sometimes with his wine glasses, where he only has like a 6-word title and shortened bullet points. But you want to try and rank for as many keywords as possible, and get your indexing and organic rankings up with those bullet points.
And by the way, I am still banned from advertising this product, but all of my competitors are also now banned. So at least the level field is finally leveled. But yes, here's an example of one of my shortest titles that I have. That worked really effectively for conversion after A/B testing, and that's why we decided to do that. But in general, I do prefer lengthy titles, lengthy bullet points. And no, the order of keywords no longer matters. However, there is a canonical URL that is set with the first 5 words followed by a dash. So I believe I did that on the Age of Sage product. Let's go back to that one here. So mom gifts box spa set dash, that sets the canonical URL. So if we were to type this into Google right now, I actually haven't done this since I made the title change. Let's see if my product comes up. It kind of does. We've got that showing up. I don't know if this is my product or not. Let's click it. Nope, not quite. So let's type in Age of Sage, Amazon, mom gift. Let's see if we can trigger it in Google here. So right here, you can see the product. And right up there, you can see the canonical URL show up. And then when you click it, right here, amazon.com/mom gift box spa set. That sets the canonical URL. Very, very technical attribution to that. Now, the question is how much does the canonical URL help you? Nobody really knows, but it's kind of cool. Kind of cool to do that. All right, let's go to the next question. If I could find the right button to click here. Sorry. Let's try that again. Here we go. Daniel says, this weekend I will apply for Amazon Brand Registry. Amazon will ask for a photo of my product with logo and packagings. Does this specimen must be exactly the first product I sell for, or does it not matter? So first of all, none of this should apply if your brand registry is completed. When you apply for brand registry, they're just looking for permanent affixed product packaging for the trademark, and you should not have to worry about this following the brand registry submission. So it'll never come back up. It does not need to be your actual product for the specimen shot. So if you're one of the people who bought the trademark and get your brand registry before you even have the product, as long as you have a permanently affixed brand name on any packaging, it will pass through this no problem. We give out a special guide on how to get through these requirements if you purchase a trademark from us. And you can get your trademark in under 7 days, brand registry in under 7 days rather. And so let's pull up on screen here. So this is our service for this. So if you go to myamazon.com, anybody that wants to get a trademark, we've done more than 300 of these. Very, very popular service with us. And you can see some of our testimonials here. Got it done in less than a couple of hours in many instances. So you can get your serial number and then wait 5 days, go file your trademark, complete the whole brand registry process in under 7 days. Every FAQ known to man about trademarks is on this page. So you want to learn more, come down and scroll through all of these FAQs. And then if you have any questions when you guys are going through that trademark process, don't hesitate to let us know. We'll answer them for you. So you do not need that packaging following that brand registry submission. That's the only thing you need, Daniel. Let's go to the next question. Idon says, what do you think about the Prosper show in Las Vegas? Are you going to be there? I've been once. Jason, you ever been?
I have not.
So I'll take this one then. I would say it's the best Amazon conference every year, without a doubt. They have a sourcing expo that also goes on about the same time. And so you get to not only learn some Amazon stuff, but then you get to go source some products potentially, or at least look for options and ideas. I know the people that put on that show. They're good people. I have not been to a conference in 3 years, which sounds crazy, but I just don't leave my basement anymore. It's terrible, right? So and it's not because of the pandemic. I'm just super busy. So we got asked the other day in an email, Steven, where does your team get all their education? And I think that the person who asked that was expecting us to reveal a podcast list or sources of news information. And I think my response kind of surprised them. And I said, we create the information, right? Like our Slack channel is just chock full of by the hour updates of what's going on in Amazon. And so we have 160 active clients. We have more access than that account wise. And so we just document and learn everything about that. So that's why I'm not attending conferences. The moment that we have a hard time growing the company, I will be attending conferences. But we are growing as fast as we can and we literally could not show up at a conference and onboard 10 clients. It would just destroy our system. It would implode. So we're still in a hiring frenzy and a hiring blitz, and we're keeping up. but I can't go show up at a conference, network, and give a speech or something, and then boom, all of a sudden we get an extra 10 clients. That would be rough on the ecosystem. So that's why I don't attend the conferences. I would obviously love to be a speaker at one, but it's difficult to make the time, and the consequences of that would also be pretty big. All right, let's go to the next question. Daniel says, during the PPC Summit presentation, you showed a video of a dog and one Amazon product announcement. Where exactly does that video appear for an Amazon client? How do we create that? So that was a video animation. I will go ahead and show it up on screen here. And it's the best animation I've ever seen for an ad. So here you can see this little dog tail wagging, right? So like that's an actual video that they loaded. It's an animation video, but it loads. And so you can see it from a mobile view. I love this video so much, I bookmarked it and I come back and replay it from time to time. And I have been desperately looking for somebody who can come in and actually recreate video animations. We haven't got anywhere yet, but Jason does have some video skills. Jason, what are your thoughts on this ad, by the way?
It's brilliant. I love it. There's a couple other ones that where they were linking on that same LinkedIn thread there. And that's the kind of ad that somebody's going to click because it has a cute little dog. It draws attention to the eye. It makes you want to press it and buy the product.
So you can trigger a video ad yourself. Just go type in anything. I just typed in dog treat, and here you can see this video. Like, people love to see dogs, babies, and products in use, right? They just love that stuff. And so you can load a video. This is a 15-second clip on replay, maybe it might be 30. And it just showcases the product. It does it way better. So like this sweet potato bag there just doesn't do it justice, but you see the dog nibbling on it and you're like, oh, I get it, right? That's why video is so important. All right, let's go to the next question, Sierra. I hid the last comment. I might have slowed you down. Mark says, hello, I just became aware of one of my ASINs now allows 10 bullet points. Any suggestions on how to use this? Keyword stuff, them question mark. All right, I got a strong opinion on that, so let's see what Jason says first.
I found one the other day where I could put 30 bullet points in.
Jeez Louise. Did you do it?
Not yet. This usually happens in technical categories. So for example, like auto parts or computer equipment, stuff like that, where in the backend, in the flat file, there's all these other little sections like specs, what does it come with, included hardware, and all this stuff, and those are those extra bullet points. And yeah, jam them with keywords. Let's do it.
So the question is how does this like convert or display? And I would say when it comes to attributes, fill all the attributes out, no doubt, right? Helps you with indexing, helps you with your SEO juice and your rankings and everything else. But I would say that I would draw the line at some point where I wouldn't add the bullets because they will go off the screen. It will push everything down. I just don't think it will look as good. So I don't think that you can gain enough SEO value by stuffing the bullets to the point where there's 10 bullet points. I don't foresee that being beneficial. I think, Amazon claims they don't index A+ content, but they totally do. So like if you want to stuff, there's so many places you can stuff. The alt text, bullet points is not where I would do it. I would fill out some good keywords in the bullets, but I wouldn't make it look like it's stuffing, if that makes sense. All right, let's go to the next question. Dr. Kaz, and by the way, every question we've taken so far has come from a current channel member. We're prioritizing member questions. If you want to join and become a member today, go to youtube.com/myamazonguy and join today. Or if you just want to do a one-time donation, that's cool too. Dr. Kaz says, hi, fellows, need your brains. I have a specialized low-volume product. Whatever I do, I cannot get the buy box. It's brand registered. No other sellers. Here's the ASIN. What is the first thing you would do, Jason?
99% of the time, this is because it's a cheaper price on another site. So I would check if they're selling it on Walmart or Target or on their own website. Amazon's seeing it and it's going, it's cheaper here, and you're selling it for more on our site. So we're not giving you the buy box.
So I'm trying to look up the ASIN. I think I found it. Let's pull this up on screen here. So here's the ASIN in question. Let's go to the actual listing And sure enough, buy box is gone. So what I tend to do here is I'll look for the UPC code, just like Jason had mentioned. Let's see if we can find it off the site. I don't actually see the UPC code public, so it's a little harder to test this. This is ranked 1 million in tools, so that's also a problem by itself. Not a lot of traction on the listing yet. So one of the things you can do to try and get a listing to regain the buy box is generate some orders manually by any means necessary. So if you want to generate five orders yourself, preferably from 5 accounts. And again, this is not to game reviews. This is not to mess with the system. You're just putting orders in. That's it. That's all you're gonna do. It could regain the buy box by doing that. It showcases to Amazon that this is worth that price. Now, obviously, $800 item, probably not going to put a lot of test orders in on this, unfortunately. So what I would say is, if the product's ever been loaded at a lower price, that might be the problem. Since it's ranked 1 million and it doesn't have any reviews, honestly, I would probably consider Dr. Kaz relaunching this ASIN and seeing if you can just make a new listing with all of the same information, but load a different UPC code for Amazon purposes, and perhaps that will prevent it from having a problem. So if let's just Google this. Let's see, low-level ozone detector by forensics. Let's just see what else comes up. Let's go to shopping here. And so if you look at this looks like the exact same item for $295, right? So there's your problem most likely. So these might be totally different modules. It might be like, yours is a higher quality model, but Amazon's probably connecting it against this $295 product. And they're like, why would we ever allow you to sell this? That's probably, I think Jason nailed it. All right, let's go to the next question. So Scuda says, hello, my product registered under a wrong brand that I do not own. Is there any way to change it to the right brand name before applying for a trademark to have a sales history and avoid intent to sell? So I'll take this one. I would say just simply go get your trademark and transfer the brand name over. If somebody hijacked you and somebody purposely changed the listing, you might have a problem with hijacking. That could be the problem here. But save that. I would just change the brand name and go file the mark. If you've already got the product, all you gotta do is have like a sticker on the item to file your US trademark and specimens. So anything you would add, Jason?
No, this perfect.
Okay, let's go to the next one. And there's nothing wrong with that. Aiden says, do I heart my conversion rate when I get into my own listing? I think he meant hurt. And what do you think, Jason?
No, I don't think so. Right? Are you just talking about like looking at your own listing? Is that what he's referring to?
Yeah, I'm not really clear what the question is on this one. Aiden, can you give us a little bit more clarity and we'll come back to you? Let's go to the next one. David says, I have brand registry now. Thanks to Steven. You're very welcome. We appreciate testimonials. When making a bundle for 2 different manufacturers, should I buy a new UPC or submit it with my brand name? No UPC. What's the best way? What are your thoughts, Jason?
Well, I'm not sure, is this a virtual bundle or just like he's going to be bundling? If it's a virtual bundle, you don't need a UPC. That's a SKU based. But if you're bundling 2 separate products, if the product, the other brand product is already on Amazon, and I don't know, this is a little bit confusing for me. It's taking 2 separate products and bundling them physically. You'll need a new UPC and load that as a bundle.
Perfect answer. If you don't have a new UPC on the 2 different products, then it's hard to manage the data. I am a firm believer every SKU should have a UPC, no exceptions. Let's go to the next. Matt says, if you blast your item to the top 10 of a niche and you have a differentiator, such as a price that is 1/10 of everyone else, or a 5-star amongst everyone 4-star, will it retain the rank? What do you think?
I mean, it'll retain the rank as long as your competition doesn't do anything. And then if they drop their price and they start aggressively advertising, then you're going to have to move with them and adapt.
So I think, Matt, if you're doing something like search, find, buy, or rebates or something to get there, once you turn that program off, you're obviously going to slip. And at My Amazon Guy, we don't actually run any external traffic strategies right now. We are firm believers of longevity and low risk opportunity growth and whatnot. That's how we manage our portfolios. But with that said, as long as your item converts, it will rank, bottom line. So if you're at the top 10 with a good niche and it still converts following the ceasing of whatever your blast was, it will stay up. So if you see it slip, it's because you're not converting. Let's go to the next question. Brandon says, hey, Steven, happy Friday. Right back at you. I'm taking my first vacation over a year. I'm 3 years overdue on mine. And was wondering if I needed to let Amazon know I'll be going out of the country. That's a great question. I don't think so. I went to China for a business trip 3 years ago. I was placing reorders on my cell phone while I was at the circus. China has dancing bears in their circuses. There's probably a few animal rights activists out there that cringed when I said that, but it was actually really entertaining. So yeah, no problems going overseas. I don't think there's any IP issues or anything like that. What do you think, Jason? Anything from your side?
No, that all sounds right. Maybe when I read this earlier, I thought maybe he was talking about like vacation mode or something. Does he?
So that's a good point, right? So if you have fulfilled by merchant orders on, you do need to enable that vacation mode. Otherwise, who's going to ship them unless you've got like a 3PL or warehouse? So great point. All right, let's go to the next one. Do you think Amazon will keep reducing storage units again for Q4? I think the program they rolled out a couple weeks ago with the new storage limitations is probably here to stay. I don't think they're going to change it again before Q4. I think what they put in place is for the year. What's your prediction, Jason?
Yeah, but also who knows?
Like predicting the stock market or cryptocurrency. Yeah, who knows? Did Elon Musk tweet about it? Yeah, pretty much. Brandon's got a lot of questions. Do you have any agreement templates available for working with Chinese suppliers? I do not, unfortunately. We don't really focus on sourcing. We're the marketing agency, if you will. Are your preferred terms and payment methods with first few orders with Chinese suppliers? I saw Helium 10 has Alta to pay suppliers and was wondering how that compares to Alipay. Honestly, I have no idea. I've never used them. I try and do all of my sourcing domestically, and then I actually hire out for external international sourcing these days. I feel like the game is just such a totally different beast than what we currently do within Seller Central. And sorry for blasting the questions. I have a call at 12. Didn't want to miss out on this week's Q&A. Well, you're very welcome. We appreciate you. All right, Sierra, back to you on the control here. Gina says, hey, Steven, I'm unable to search for my brand name on Amazon. When I click on my brand name in the product page, I don't see my brand products anymore. How do I fix that? Gina, do you have brand registry? If not, that's your problem. If you do have brand registry, go create your brand store. If you have both of those and you still have a problem, you probably have a brand node ID issue and you need to submit tickets. And literally in the ticket, just say, hi, Amazon, my product is not linking to my brand page. Can you please fix our brand node ID? Simple as that. Should go right through. Usually fixed within 2 weeks. Cupcake Sprinkles, SEO listings were neglected for years, but sold very well. Strong demand. Want to optimize now. I've watched your Fab series Ad Badger. Yeah, we had a 4-part series of the Ad Badger. Very, very good series. Wouldn't be a launch. Recommendations where to start. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, if there's no backend or anything like that, you're gonna use a tool to gather some competitor research and like Helium 10 or Zonguru stuff, and optimize your backend keywords and put them in there. Yeah.
So our SEO phases, yeah, that's good. So we run 3 phases of SEO. In phase 1, it's all about indexing, trying to get to the first 1,000 keywords in the first 30 days. Phase 2, it's about incremental indexing. And phase 3 is about ranking matriculation. So you're trying to get those keywords in ranks 20 through 50 up to the top 10. And you generally need about 50 keywords in ranks 20 through 50 before you start SEO phase 3 from our experience. We run that playbook the way we do because it maximizes indexing, which maximizes ranking, which then maximizes sales in that order. So that's why we do what we do. I'm going to pull up on screen here. So this is our Age of Sage product. We're now sitting at 17 reviews. We sold over $125,000 in our first 10 days with this product launch, which did very, very well. I'm not seeing the Helium 10 link show up, so let's see if we can track this manually. So let's go over to Helium 10 and log in. And we're going to show you the keyword rankings. So let's go over to Keyword Research, Cerebro, and type in our ASIN here. Get keywords. So, that's weird. Not sure what happened there. I haven't seen that error message before. Let's try get keywords. Try that again. Well, that's super weird. Not sure why that's not working. Well, we're going to showcase our latest keyword rankings to see where we're at, but that was a fail. So we've gone from we hit 2,500 keywords indexed on this product, Age of Sage, and it's doing quite well. And so following the guidelines on trying to index your products makes a massive difference. All right, let's go to the next question. Scuda, thanks for being a member. No hijackers, but I cannot change the bullet or description because I do not own the brand that it mistakenly registered under. You cannot change the brand attribute either. This is a worst case scenario, Scuda. You're going to need to file tickets and call Amazon to get them to change the brand name because you don't have any control mechanisms. We do have a brand name change service. We charge $1,000 to do this. It's very difficult work. You are in for a couple weeks of effort, most likely. Whether you hire us or do it your own, it's going to be a difficult thing to do. I'll put a link in our chat here. Here's our service on that. Let's go to the service icon. So here you can see what we do to change a brand name, and it's very, very difficult. There's a lot of different things that go through to change your brand name. So you're at company 1, you want to move to company 2 on the brand attribute. This is something that's going to require a lot of ticketing. So what I would say to you, you're going to need to call Amazon, file a bunch of catalog tickets, and explain to them that the listing was messed up. They will initially respond to you that you need to create a new ASIN. Now, if this ASIN is worth saving, you want to ignore that advice. You're going to want to create you want to make the change yourself instead of create a new listing. But that's the problem we're experiencing here. I want to buy your service with trademark, but not sure how to proceed since the product is not currently under the brand name I want to register. That doesn't matter, Scuda. It's okay to get the trademark now. As long as you can create what's called a specimen, take your cell phone out, take a cell phone picture of your product. That's all we need, as long as it shows the brand name. And so you can throw a sticker on a box, you can print it out into a box, whatever you want to do. All of that works for the specimen. I'm looking at our question queue. This might be a record low for us right now. If you guys have a question today, feel free to enter it into the chat. Actually, maybe we just skipped a few. Okay, we got plenty to work with here. I apologize. But if you want to get your question answered today, put it in the comments section. We'd love to help you out today. All right. Mikhail says, hi, Steven. Is it possible to somehow exclude product page placements from keywords-focused campaigns on sponsored products? Jason, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, negative targeting. I think pretty sure that's what they're talking about. If you don't want your product on a certain page, put that ASIN into your negative targets and on your sponsored products campaign.
This is a relatively new addition. A lot of people don't know you can do that. But yeah, it works. Now, we've also seen data where you have negated and you still show up. So that does happen. But I would say that's the best option. Matt says, do you think it's safe to have a little bird drop an unverified 5-star on a brand new listing? Probably not. I wouldn't do it. I would do one single verified review and that's it. That's all I would do. And have somebody who's never bought from you before do it. If you're going to do it, if they have the same last name as you, don't do that. This is definitely against terms and conditions, but still a common practice by most sellers, unfortunately. I think it's a high risk activity, Matt. They can actually freeze the reviews on the listing for like months. So that's why it's such a high risk activity. Jason, you have anything to add?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. All right. Good advice. Jacob says, are you concerned about Amazon suppressed listings where the UPC prefix doesn't match the company name? Thanks, Steven. We've done a big amount of research on this question. We even had GS1 on our podcast about 8 weeks ago, something like that. And I am not concerned about this yet. I think new listings, you probably do want to buy your GS1 prefix, but old listings, I wouldn't make any changes. I think it's a lot of work for no return. Generally speaking, I'm reactive to Amazon policy changes, not proactive. The only area that I recommend being proactive on policy right now is review generation. I don't touch it. I just think that review generation is such a high risk thing right now, can lead to account suspension, listing removals. product stars being removed, lots and lots of issues there. So be proactive on product review policy, but anything else, be reactive, in my opinion. Any additional thoughts on that one, Jason?
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to do anything for the old products. It's like you said, but for the new products. And I know you've talked about the GS1. If you have used GS1s in the past, you're going to have to use them going forward for every new product that you launch.
All right, let's go to the next question. So Mikhail says, when changing a listing copy to an upgraded one with new keywords, how fast can you update all the fields safely with no damage to your indexing? I would say you can update them all at the same time. No problem there. Now, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't update them like once every 5 days and then do it again every 5 days. Like, wouldn't do that. But I think it's completely safe to do a full refresh. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, Amazon might reward that. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say that I've seen it where they do reward that when you just do your full refresh, everything right away. And again, yeah, don't start changing stuff every single day, every 5 days. Let it matriculate for a little while to see your indexing go up.
Got to measure it. Otherwise, you won't know if the changes you made were good. If you are not tracking your keywords, I do recommend that. I think that tracking keywords is something that a lot of businesses don't do, and they miss out on that. So I highly recommend that. Now, we do have, we endorse Helium 10, and I recommend, signing up for Helium 10. You do like a base membership with them. We have a 50% off month 1. If you're interested, I'll post the discount into the chat. We exclusively use Helium 10 and ZonGuru at My Amazon Guy. ZonGuru is a recent thing for us too, by the way. After we found out some of the things that ZonGuru can do, we're pretty big fans. So yeah, check your keyword rankings, do a Cerebro poll, and then check them again 7 days after you make a change so you can measure what happened to your indexing. Some things will go up, some will go down. Hopefully more things index and more keywords go up. Anthony Fu says, if I want to slightly change the design of my product, such as making the color darker, moving the position of the logo, do I have to create a brand new ASIN? What are your thoughts, Jason?
No, think of it like a product upgrade, but what you do have to be careful of is making sure all of your previous FBA inventory is out or sold, and then change your image to the new product. People will go back and look at the reviews, and he's worried about the pictures, but the most important thing is the current main image matches what the customer gets when it's delivered to their door.
The other thing I would say is you can create 2 SKUs on the same ASIN. That's totally white hat. And so I would make the second product ship in on the second SKU to FBA and close it. Sell out of the first SKU, then activate the second, and then delete the old one. And then any stranded inventory, ship it back. So like if somebody does like a customer return 30 days later, that's the safest way to do an ASIN transition, in my opinion. Now, if you asked Amazon, if you asked GS1, they're going to give you a different opinion, but I'm telling you, it's completely safe. Go ahead and proceed with this. No problem at all. Let's do our t-shirt giveaway. So Sierra, we're going to add Sierra to the stream here. So Sierra, how does this work? You want to explain it?
So we're going to be using a hashtag MAGTshirt, free MAGTshirt down at the bottom, and basically post in chat the hashtag, and we'll do a wheel at the end and see who wins one.
Perfect. So if you want to win a t-shirt today, put hashtag MAGTshirt into the comments right now, and we'll roll our wheel on this and give out one free t-shirt. This is for anybody worldwide. Doesn't have to be in the United States. I will foot the $20 shipping charge and send it out to you in the Philippines, Pakistan, wherever you might be if you're watching us. All right, let's go to the next question. Kevin says, hello from Lakeland, Florida. Hello there. I'm here in Atlanta. Jason's over in California somewhere. So hello there, Kevin. Anthony says, can I sell the new design on the same ASIN, even if my reviews have pictures of the original design? A lot of my competitors have done this. Seems to be fine. Kind of similar to the last question almost. But yeah. give some color here, Jason.
Yeah, I thought this was I thought this was the last question.
Yeah, it kind of looks the same. Now I'm comparing the two here. Here was the original question. I think we've answered this one pretty well. And so Anthony, you can switch it up, but I would eventually get the new pictures for sure. Mikkel says, is it okay to change ownership of the seller account from one company to another with different owners? Is it safe? Also, is it possible to change the personal account from one person to another? Jason, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, this is how aggregators are acquiring brands. There's obviously some legal things you need to do outside of Amazon. The most important thing I think is advising Amazon that the change is happening. When you're switching the personal information and the business information in the backend of your seller settings. That's what I have, Steven.
So I would say that, if you look on Google, you look at things from like 2+ years ago, you're going to see a ton of lots of problems people experience. Nowadays, it's really not a problem anymore. A lot of people are uncertain. A lot of people are uncomfortable. But honestly, the seller transitions have just spiked through the roof. A lot of people are cashing out on their business. They've done lots of good things. And by the way, I don't think now is the best time to cash out of your business. I'm very bullish on Amazon. I think everybody should invest. However, if you do want to sell your business, we do have a way to introduce you to some of the aggregators. I have the website amazonaggregators.com, and we have a list of all of the aggregators on here. So you just want to learn about them. You're not interested in selling. You just want to learn about them. Go to amazonaggregators.com. I'll post a link to this in the comment section. And here you can see all of the top. We've had Thrasio and we've had Boosted and talking to others to get them to come on the podcast. Eventually we'll get some of the top ones in here. But these are the biggest guys. I also came across my news today. We had another aggregator that just launched a $200 million capital raise. So more and more of these are popping out. Lots and lots of aggregators. But changing ownership, whether you're, what if you're just a mom and pop switching it over to another company, completely safe. Go ahead and do it. The one thing I would advise, though, the one place you got to be safe is the bank account transfer. And in that situation, make sure that you change the deposit method after a deposit goes through. If you were to change the bank account 3 days before a deposit, it will cause a security flag. They will kick you out of the account. So that's why you got to be very careful with that. Joss says, my made packaging smaller, cheaper, ship free. New packaging been at Amazon since February. Amazon finally changed dimensions on their own. Way to get reimbursement since February equates to thousands of dollars. Yes, we have a service called My Refund Guy that can do this exact task for you, and you don't even have to lift a finger other than sign up. So it's a pretty cool service. Go over to myrefundguy.com. First $500 are on us, completely free. That's how much we believe in the service, that you're going to stick around. I have a video where I actually demo this. I show what a dashboard looks like. Really, really cool stuff. And it will do exactly what you're asking about. So go check it out. The other thing it does is it finds any lost damaged units, refunds, mishandled returns. And there are many other services that compete with our My Refund Guy. It's not really a moneymaker for us. We just offer this as a service to help people out. And that's because so many people need to do this and they just don't get around to it. So highly recommend it. Richard says, any tips on what to put the page meta description when building the Amazon store page? Yes. The video that I think you would like, Richard, is the video I did on my 3 SEO tips. And I'm going to post that one for you. And it's a great watch. Let me put it on screen here so you can see it here. I'll pop it up. So this is the video, 3 tips to improve SEO traffic to your website. This video is about the same thing that you are going to need help with. And the meta description that you would build for a homepage of a website should be identical to the meta description format that you would build for an Amazon store. So very, very important field, very underrated. Don't let your designer set it. You need an actual SEO expert to set the meta description of a brand store. It's very important. One of the most important things about it, actually, I actually did now that I think about it, I have another video where I actually talk about brand store SEO. So now I'm like trying to find that video here. I think it's pretty recent now that I think of it. Yes. Okay, here it is. Let's pull that back up on screen here. So click that button. So this video right here, Amazon brand store SEO, rank in the top 5 results. So I walked through, 3 weeks ago. So this is the video you need to watch, Richard. Very, very helpful information. One of the cool things about this, so like if we type in my brand name for my wine glasses Monster right here. So my MAGTshirt.com shows up number 1, but what shows up number 2 and 3? Amazon does. And this is one of the brand store pages that is ranking at the top of Google. That's why it's so important. And you can sell, you can set the meta description of a brand store to whatever you want to have really good impact to getting people to come and find your brand on Amazon. So instead of them going to Etsy and Walmart and Facebook and random other sites that have nothing to do with you, right? Your Amazon listings can rank with a store on top of Google. That's why it's so important. All right, let's go to the next question here. Last week, it appeared that you have changed your canonical URL by changing your title on the Age of Sage product. When is the canonical URL set? Is it possible to change it after it is set? The Age of Sage product is exactly proof that you can change it. We changed it and almost went through immediately. It's set within 24 hours of you changing the hyphen in the title generally. So it goes rather quick. Jason, any other title tips you would give today?
No, that's what I've seen as well when changing titles. One thing also example that you showed with your Momster wine glasses, if it's not a well-known brand name, kind of a gray area, but taking the brand name out of the front of the title.
Certain categories will not allow that. Anything medical, health will never allow that. But in gift giving, home, kitchen, outdoors, you can get away with a lot more things that they don't enforce. So I end up putting my brand name at the end of the title because of that, so I can set the canonical URL. Anthony Fu says, is it better to rank on page 1 for one keyword that gets searched for 50,000 times, or rank on page 1 for 3 keywords that get 13,000 months? That's there's probably no wrong answer to this question. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a math question.
Yeah.
I would prefer the page rank on page 1 for 3 keywords, because then we could possibly improve on that. Whereas the one keyword that's getting searched 50,000 times, that could change. That harder to change that.
So I would add to that. I would say that the secondary keywords that you would get off of the loose match of 3 keywords on page 1 would be better generally. Now, with that said, it is extremely important that you get like a couple hundred keywords in slot rank 1 for dozens and dozens of keywords. In the last couple of weeks, we showcased how the Age of Sage product had 5 million available impressions during the Mother's Day week for the term Mother's Day gift. And I was in slot 3 for that term for that week. So incredibly valuable to be able to rank for that, right? Like just gigantically valuable. But I would say, index for more, not less. The numbers game will perform more. Also, when you're at slot 1 for a keyword 50,000 searches, kind of like Jason was alluding to, you have a chance to be knocked out a lot easier. So there's less ground you're defending, and you have to be fighting tooth and nail. You might have to spend a lot of PPC. So I would go for the 13,000 a month on several keywords. All right, so we got the wheel ready. We're going to bring Sierra back in, and we'll do the wheel now for our giveaway for our free My Amazon Guy t-shirt anywhere in the world. Take it away, Sierra.
I am pulling it up now. Give me 1 minute.
While Sierra is pulling that up, we'll take the next question. Daniel says, is it safe to log in to another master seller account from the same computer as my own? I will just log in, check some stuff for another company's seller account. They are a registered seller. No risk at all, in fact. IP addresses no longer causing problems. Totally safe to do. All right, let's go to the wheel here. See who wins our free t-shirt today.
Yes. All right, and we're going to spin now.
Spin it away. All right, so the winner is, it was
nice.
thinking about
it was right on the line.
Stephen Janney. All right, Stephen, you're the winner. Please send an email to t-shirt@myamazonguy.com, and we will send you the information on how to get your free t-shirt. Ship it worldwide for it. Thanks for your help, Sierra.
Yes, I will send the email in the chat so that you can find it easier, and then just email us, and we'll get your free t-shirt.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Sierra. All right, oops, sorry about that. So let's go to the next question. Jennifer says, hi, Prime Day strategy. What do you suggest, Jason?
Tons of inventory, and make sure you got your deal in, because I'm pretty sure the cutoff is coming up here.
When do you think Prime Day is going to be, Jason?
If I had to guess, I'm thinking like right before, or even maybe July 4th weekend.
No way. There's no way they drop it on July 4th. Nobody shops then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right before, like.
Let's look at a calendar. All right, so now I got to figure out how to showcase a calendar safely here. Maybe I'll use my Calendly link here. I don't think I can pull this off fast enough. All right, so if I'm looking at a calendar, so we got June 30th is the last day of the month in June. That's a Wednesday. July 4th is a Sunday. So my prediction, if I was Amazon, I would do it the week of probably June 28th. That's when I would do it. There's a lot of conflicts in the first and second week in July that I think just don't bode well for Amazon this year. And so I think they're going to do it early. I think they're going to come out like last week in June. That's my prediction.
I'm hearing people saying that we're going to have Prime Days this time.
Instead of Prime Day week, it's going to be Prime Days.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the Monday is always the most popular Prime Day. And for strategies, make sure you have 20% off coupon if you have the inventory. So like last year, I was famous for saying, don't run any discounts for Prime Day in Q4 of last year. Everybody's supply chain was just a giant wreck. It's still a wreck for many people, right? So like if you don't have inventory controls, if you don't have a lot of inventory, I would not run discounts. But if you have plenty of inventory, run a 20%. Use a Prime exclusive discount, get that submitted. Not a fan of lightning deals though. Lunga says, hello guys, when launching a product with a variation, what's the best ranking strategy? Rank on one variation or both? What do you think?
When launching a product with a variation, what's the best ranking strategy? Rank on one variation or both? I'm rank on one variation or both.
So I'll start this and then you can go off me. So I would say, Lunga, your variations share the keyword rankings globally. However, Amazon's system is smart enough to pick the right variation to show up for the right keywords. So for example, if you were selling black t-shirts, like the t-shirt we gave away today, and you were selling a white t-shirt, when somebody types in white, my Amazon guy t-shirt, they're going to find the white shirt variation. But if somebody just typed in my Amazon guy t-shirt, they would show whichever SKU has the highest velocity. And so they're going to default to the one that Amazon believes will convert it the best. So what I would say is, can you customize the keywords between SKUs? Yes, but there's very much diminishing returns between the variations on the same parentage. So it's not as critical to have differing keywords in the SKU variations. But so generally when we take over an account, for example, we'll generally put like a general keyword flush into the system and then over time customize it more and more as we're trying to find those additional gains. But yeah, that's what I think. Anything to coattail on that one, Jason?
Make sure you're putting item details and SEO into your parent listings.
Ryan says, any luck targeting books with PPC? When we target an IBAN, we get 0 impressions. Honestly, no. We've really struggled with books and authors with PPC. You can use the KDP software. It's similar to Seller Central, but still, it's just really hard to advertise books. I generally do not think it's that viable, unfortunately. Nor can you target a book with a non-book product, generally speaking. However, the new display targets that they came out with very much could be a game changer on this question. So, for example, if I have my Age of Sage product, which maybe is good for new moms, and somebody's reading literature about how to be a mom, and there's books on that, that display campaign targeting would be very good. So let me just showcase that real quick, and then we're going to prioritize member questions here again. Sierra's going to take over those, but let me showcase this real quick. So in here, let's go add to stream. So in here, if you create a display campaign, and then let's just type in my Sage products, right? And add both my FBA and FBM versions. And in here, you can see the categories it suggests like this. They're coming out with new ways to target in audiences. And as you scroll down, you can see Amazon audience. This is new. This is brand new. So if you wanted to go to an interest base, you can see here books is available on the drop down. So book genres and subjects. Let's check this out. So let's go nonfiction books. So if somebody's interested in engineering or other things, parenting, right? I've actually tried to do parenting and relationships. Didn't do too hot with this one. Didn't work for me. But you never know. We got to test these things. It's worth a few $100s in tests because you never know what's going to happen. Let's go to our next member question, Sierra. Mohammed says, hello, Steven. Do you still recommend starting a new PPC launch campaign with always fixed bid? I do. Generally, for 7 days, I think fixed bid is the way to go because Amazon's system is not smart enough to know when to up bid or when to down bid. And so it will hurt your impression counts. Fixed bid's where it's at. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, I agree. Fixed bids, and then once the product is mature, move to dynamic up and down.
All right, let's go to the next one. Tanda says seller jumps kit listing that has unique item, maybe an oversight before reporting. Is it okay to message as a buyer, ask a detail about a unique item so they realize and jump off against terms and conditions? Trademark pending. No, I would scare off hijackers anytime, by any means necessary. Play a little bit rough with them, in my opinion. I think they're the worst thing that has happened to the selling atmosphere on Amazon. And so not against terms and conditions to send a buyer message to a seller. In fact, there really isn't a way to contact the seller any other way. Jason, anything to add on that one?
There's a hijacking question, right? You could also do if you really wanted to see what's going on, do a test buy on their product. If it's see if it's actually the product, and then you can that opens the options to report to Amazon as well.
And I kind of feel like there's two types of hijacking events, right? So like a hijacker events when somebody's like selling a counterfeit item. And then there's the resellers who are showing up with authentic products, right? So I would play much nicer with the resellers showing up with authentic products because they don't know any better. The hijackers selling counterfeits, though, take those guys, to the woods and take them out. So, all right, let's go to the next one. Mama says, is it confirmed that HTML will be banned from product descriptions? It is. I posted a video about that the other day. One person commented on my video, though, that they had a confirmed source to say that break line codes will still be viable, but bullet points will not. So no Lee and OL codes, if you will. Hi, Steven. In the subject matter field, it says no currently listed in home. Does it mean the subject matter field has no effects for indexing on the home category? That's correct. No longer has any impact on that. They took it away. Candace, HTML lines breaks still be permitted as stated in current policy. From multiple sources that I've seen, that's the case, yes. Scuda says, yes, I believe it is worth saving. Has 45 reviews, 4.8 rate. Yeah, definitely worth saving. On an unrelated note, there is a section in searches, highly rated and editorial recommendations. Any idea how to get there? So the editorial recommendations are submitted by Amazon affiliates. You can actually purchase a service to get listed in the editorials. It's totally possible. However, it's expensive. Like you're talking $1,500, $2,000 to get that done. We have personally contacted about 20 writers and really got ghosted by 19 of them. It's very difficult to get listed in editorials. I think that the money that you can make off editorials is so low, they're just not motivated to do it anymore. Probably my prediction. But I would say it's totally possible getting the editorials. Let's see if I can trigger one of these live and see if I can show you. So error purifier is usually the one way I usually trigger this. So let's scroll down, see if we can find an editorial. Yes, right here. So you can see the best air purifier. You can see our pick, also great, right? And these will rotate. They're not always the same. It's just one way that Amazon's taking up the fight against Google, if you will. They want to beat Google over doing content about product searches. And so editorials are their way to fight that. It's not something that's really that proliferated, not a lot of content out there. And so I do recommend trying to get into it. It's just it's a lot of effort to get into it. Let's go to the next question. Meant to ask if when I view product page as a buyer, does Amazon recognize it as a regular session and is there therefore slightly decreased my conversion rate for the day? Okay, so if you don't buy the product and you view it from your own account, like I wouldn't like those are not the things I worry about. I think it's too hard to worry about 17 other things on your mind affecting your own buyer conversion rate. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Also, buy your own product at least once. So solves that problem. Is the unit session percentage accurate? It seems much higher than the conversion rate of my PPC campaigns. It also takes into account your organic sales, which do have a higher conversion rate than PPC. That's why. Any flavor to that one, Jason?
Nope, you got it.
Let's go next. Cupcake sprinkles. All right, you got this one, Jason. You get first go. You had a guest from my seller category who did not place much faith in optimization and research tools. How much faith do you place in these, Jason?
All my faith. Honestly, you need them to actually get your products, or hire somebody that uses them to get your products to sell.
So I believe the guest that they're referring to was the supplements SEO guest, and he was articulating have a relationship with the algorithm. And just do what's in the best interest of the product and the customer. And those are good platitudes. I agree with them in a vacuum. In reality, you need to use data to help make tactical decisions, not strategic decisions, tactical. I would use your gut for strategy decisions. I would use the data for tactical. And that's really the difference I would delineate on that. Let's go to the next question. Dr. Kaz, hey, Jason, you said get your prime deals. Any tips? Bang out for ridiculous discount. What are your thoughts?
This goes back to what Steven was talking about earlier. It just depends on how your supply chain and your inventory is. If you have good margin, a ton of inventory on a certain SKU, yeah, bang it out. Do 30%. What can go wrong there? But if you don't have the stock, as Steven mentioned, I wouldn't even do a discount.
All right, we got to go find where we left off with our non-member questions. So let's see if we can find it. Tanda says, please explain buy your own product at least once. I think it's so forget the terms and conditions for a moment. This is not me saying do black hat, white hat stuff. This is a marketer conversation. You need to buy your own product to see the customer experience. Bottom line, right? Like I'm not buying my own product to game the system. I'm buying it to see like what does the customer experience. Case in point. I have a failed product launch that I keep on my counter at all times. It is my Sweet Heat Monster Hot Sauce. 50 positive reviews, by the way. Everybody liked this product, but it was a massive disaster from a profit standpoint and logistics standpoint. In the first week, everybody who got this order from me, all of them were damaged because I paid Amazon to do the prep work, bubble wrap it up, and they shipped it out in padded envelopes. Padded envelopes. No box. So that's why you need to buy your own product to experience what the consumers go through. And if you don't do that, you're going to miss something big like that. It'll go on longer. So every time I launch a product that I care about, right? It's not just like a variation of a color, right? Like, so let's say it's a new product launch. I buy it day one, 100% of the time, because I want to see if like, okay, how do my box hold up? What does it look like when I actually open this up? That's why it's important. All right, let's go back to the question list. So I too am lost on where we are, Sierra. Let's go with this one. Stephen Janney, what is the relationship between choosing the correct category and ranking and PPC, Jason?
Choosing the correct category, I mean, you want to sorry, this one's tough for me. I know moving into different categories can help you with getting into a different like niche. And Steven, you might want to take this one.
I'll say it. So relationship between choosing the correct category, ranking, and PPC. What I think Steven's getting at is how your organic choice of the attribute for categorization could affect your PPC and your SEO rank. I think that's what Steven's asking here. So if I've got the question correct, the answer would be it probably has minimal impact unless you have a product that is banned from advertising in select categories. For example, if you have a testosterone booster, fat burner supplement, you don't want to be in those categories because they'll just flat out ban you. There are some gray categories where, let's say you've got like something that's just on the cusp of a policy issue, you'd want to be in the safer category to avoid any of those issues. So like that's the policy choice. Now, let's say it's like, okay, apples to oranges, there's no policy issues. In that case, I think the categorization has minimal impact. People don't use categories to search things, generally speaking. Now, one of the philosophies you could debate on this question, though, is like, would it be better to be in your competitors category where there's lots of competitors, or would you prefer to be in a smaller niche where there's less competitors? That is a very debatable topic. Generally speaking, I ignore the data on this question and I go for what do I think my consumer would best classify my product. That's the choice I would make on this one, Steven. If you make the choice like that, you'll probably have a better long-term experience with your ranking and your PPC. Andre says, hello, Steven. Is there a simple way to find out the cost per click on top of the search page location for particular keywords? Jason, you have any ideas on this one?
I mean, if you're not getting any impressions on your ads, then or on your keywords, then your bids are too low, and then you can kind of figure out from there where you need to be as far as on that specific keyword.
The other thing I would add to that is inside of the campaign console, they'll give you a keyword range. Usually, the end of the range is what the top bidder is buying. It's usually. Or at least they're bidding higher than that, but they're actually paying at the top of that range. So I actually think it's very easy to get a gauge on this, Andre, when you add a keyword to your campaign. Just see what the recommended bid range is from Amazon, and you can gauge it that way. Richard says, should I trademark my brand name before adding it on Amazon, or add the product first on Amazon before applying the trademark? We'll take your trademark service soon, by the way. Thank you, Richard. In my opinion, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this. It's just a preference point. Generally speaking, I like to have my trademark in as soon as possible. And as long as you have a specimen, again, cell phone picture of your product with permanently affixed branding, then you can go ahead and file your trademark, from my experience, Richard. I would not wait for the item to land at Amazon, because then you're delaying your brand registry, which delays your A+ content, which delays your launch. You can get around the USPTO requirement by having a simple one-page website that lists your product to say it's in use, in commercial use. We can provide those for you as part of the service if you so need, by the way. Let's go to Vivid Vinyls, and then Sierra, take it over after this. Hey, Steven, now that the new restock limits have been implemented for a month or so, what are your thoughts? Do you feel this is temporary? Growth in seasonal products seem to be most affected. I think it's permanent, unfortunately. I think this is never going away. I think that Amazon is so inundated, their supply chain overwhelms. They will never go back. They're not going to open up 50 more FBA facilities. It's just not sensical for them. So instead, they're going to be more efficient. You're going to see Amazon make a big push for efficiency. So these are not going away. Jason, do you have any hopes that different from my opinion?
No.
All right, then. All right, Sierra, go ahead and take it away. Ferminator says, what are the current best practices for product inserts to acquire email addresses and get reviews? Don't do it. Bottom line, just don't do it. We've, like, Jason, how many times in Slack channel have you seen like one of our clients getting burned for this? It's like every week, right?
Every week.
It's bad. QR code's a little bit safer. Still don't recommend it. Anytime you ask for a review right now, I just literally wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It is such a hot topic. We've seen account suspensions. We've seen Amazon make you ship your products back at your own cost, or they suspend you. It's not worth the risk right now. If you ever make a personal purchase and you get one of those inserts that's like, hey, send us a review for $10, report them and Amazon will pay you for the $10, right? Like that's what it's come to. All right, let's take about 5 more questions here, Sierra. Are you on Clubhouse? They just got Android available. I just installed it, but I've done nothing with it. I've been very overwhelmed running the company right now. So I have not done a lot of extra marketing activities, and I have a baby due here in a couple of weeks. So not sure what I'm going to do with Clubhouse. If I could somehow stream it at the same time, I probably would. We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe we can look into that. Yoon says, can I place the same variation in the same ad group for each of them to show up on a keyword? Yes, you can. Generally speaking, though, segmentation is preferable when you kick out different variations to other ad groups because they will perform better. It's a little bit more work, but it's totally worth it. Next question. Jennifer says, thoughts on Amazon's transparency program? What do you think, Jason?
Well, I got to read the question.
have you used the transparency program, or any of your clients used it?
No, we haven't. No.
So I'd say like 1% of our clients use it. Generally speaking, only used for counterfeit prevention. That's it. High-end, complicated product. Do you think I should protect myself now or wait for an issue? I do have a lot of resellers. The larger your distribution network is, the more likely the transparency program will help you, Jennifer. So based on your note, I might actually check it out. But for 99% of my clients, it's a waste of time. Andrew says, do you have a specific A+ content formula that you recommend? All right, Jason has more design chops than me, so you have to give a better answer on this one than me.
Well, I mean, for me, a personal is a little bit of a personal preference, but I like content that is image heavy, in your face, depending on the brand, obviously, in the brand story, but making sure that your alt text is in there, all 100 characters, and making sure that your copy is slightly text heavy, but not right up front, so it's a bunch of word salad. That's my opinion as far as like designs specifics. Like
so one thing I'll add to that, let's see if I can click the right thing. My favorite module on A+ content, actually I don't have it on this product, so let's go to my brand store here. So amazon.com/momster. And I'm just going to click on one of my products here. Let's go to my formerly top product, but no longer my top product because it's banned. So in here, like Jason mentioned, lots of big pictures take up lots of space, right? You can see all this here. But most important, I think, in A+ content is the product module. The ability to have somebody click on this right here, go to a different parentage with cross-sell opportunities with their own A+ content like this is gigantic. So you can cross-pollinate your products faster through the product module than any other method. I think this is the most important thing somebody does in A+ content. I can tell them all of these different product options. So, let's say I'm looking for Christmas presents and, oh my gosh, I want to get mom, pop, grandpa, nana. I want to get them all in one purchase. Boom, done. And I can click them all like this. You could do virtual bundles and stuff like that too. Another way to get around that. But I think the product module is my favorite module in A+ content. Other than that, customize to the value of your own products. So some of these modules will look better on certain categories than others. And I have, we got a grandpa and grandpa needs a shark. That's good. I thought I was on Mama Shark for a moment. I was like, why is there a grandpa there? But other than that, just like Jason said, A+ content, each photo, alt text, 100 characters, utilize it. Really, really valuable. Hello from the UK, Amritz. When a buyer returns an FBA item, who pays for the return? And will Amazon forward the cost onto me? Unfortunately, they do. Your FBA fee is paid for by you. So if it costs you $3.50 to ship out your wine glass, you will foot the bill. They ship it back. There's no additional charge to bring it back to you, but the $3.50 that it was paid to ship it out, it's gone. You don't get reimbursed for that. Now, if the item doesn't return, you get paid as if the item's sold. However, any additional thoughts, Jason?
No, I mean, yeah, you got it.
All right, let's take one or two more questions here. DK says, hi, Steven, planning to use your full service Amazon management to launch a new product. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Has an ETA in the US of mid-June in the process of creating 7 main images, will be upload ready for A+ content. Is there more to this question? Or he's just telling us he's going to use this. Well, cool. That's awesome. Appreciate it. Do I send you the raw image files for you to create the content? Yes. We can use the raw images, clean them up, and do anything you need with them. A+ contents, we can put them on white for you. We can graphically edit them. Whatever you need, we can do it for you. So up to you. If you like your product photography done a certain way, you can customize it accordingly. When you do your photos, though, make sure you get like every angle of the product. So like show a downward shot, show a sideways shot, show a close-up shot, show a medium shot, show me the shot with other products that you sell in together as a shot. That'll give us a lot more options to work with. Look forward to you signing up, DK. If you haven't talked to my father, Dan Pope, our sales manager, make sure you do that as well. Tomas says, how did you get inventory planning for your recent Mother's Day? How did I do it? So I ordered 5,000 kits. I was bullish, and I made a good bullish call. 5 million search volume this year for Mother's Day gifts. I hit it good, did well. So I ordered 5,000. I shipped the first 200 in before they changed the inventory shipping restrictions. Then I shipped another 1,000 in, and it still wasn't enough for the Mother's Day push. It was brutal. I ran out of stock at FBA. So moving forward, now the question is when do I reorder? How many have I sold through? These are questions that are very difficult to answer. Will my Mother's Day product do well during Christmas? These are all outstanding questions. Anybody could guess the answer to these questions. So with that in mind, I would say do your reorder once you've sold 25 to 30% of your inventory. And then if it causes a stock out, that's okay, because any sooner than that, you won't really have a good gauge for it, my opinion. All right, let's take one last question. Hello, guys. When launching a product with variation, what's the best ranking strategy? Rank on variation or both or even apparent? I think we kind of covered this one today. Jason, any additional thoughts you might add on this one?
No, like you said, we had that similar question earlier. Just make sure that it's all the SEO and the titles and bullets and all that are filled in on the parent. And then, like you said, the ranking is just going to depend on which one has better sales velocity.
We had 2 more member questions coming. I'm going to get these, and then we're going to wrap today. Tana says, added a second SKU to ASIN, closed and deleted the first SKU. ASIN still selling, but not showing me category or rank. Check the category attribute. Make sure it's filled in. If it is, you need to ticket that. That's a easily fixed problem. Just tell Amazon you don't have a category rank, especially if there's been sales on it. But that is a common bug. And then lastly, Mohammed said, how long does it take a product to arrive from the U.S. West Coast customs duties to FBA warehouse, Texas, ready to sell? Probably 3 days to arrive, but the check-in time is anybody's guess. 10 to 14 days on average for a new product, from my experience. A little bit faster if you use UPS carrier, a little bit slower if you use pallet check-in, and the warehouse could be inundated and slow all those numbers down. So that is our My Amazon Guy podcast today. Well, Daniel also made a comment, never meet someone ranked 5 in a 5 million search volume keyword. Congrats. Thank you very much. I was a very big accomplishment for us with the ASINS product. We're very proud of that. That is our My Amazon Guy podcast. Special thanks to Jason Master Mateo for joining us. He's our new account director at My Amazon Guy. If you liked what you heard from Jason today, and I know Cupcake Sprinkles did, head over to our website if you want to book a coaching call with Jason. Go over to book a coaching call, and you can schedule with Jason. He has same-day availabilities frequently. So if you're interested in talking to him. Other than that, Jason, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Steven.
And I do have a baby coming. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please share your feedback. Say thank you. Just write one comment. Helps us with the YouTube algorithms. We will be back next Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. I will try and get some sleep, Tanis, before the new baby comes. That'll be hard with 3 kids under 5 already, though. We'll see what happens. You guys all have a great weekend.